Okay, so continue on. Um, so ductwork, I mean, it pretty much works the same, same way uh, as piping. So just to quickly show you, so this was pipe, and so you take a look at what you get for pipe, and when you go to duct, it's pretty much the same. You can add a vertical. Obviously, you don't really need slope in ductwork. Um, but again, here you can change what the size of it is. Again, if you click on this, you can change from a round duct to a rectangular duct. Then if you hit rectangular, it gives you the size of the rectangle, width and height. Again, the offset works the same way as it works the same way as piping does. So my level is first floor, and this means I'm going to come in at 21 feet 2 inches above the first floor. So I could draw a duct, that goes like that, and then if I wanted to go higher, or say I wanted to go higher, I could say 30 feet. And again, this doesn't go 30 feet above this. This is 30 feet above the starting level, which was the first floor. So it's only really like 9 feet above that. And then I could go, any way that I wanted to here. And then again, you see it adds the fittings in automatically. And then it's the same thing with the fittings, just like in plumbing. You can click on the fitting, you can hit the plus sign, and then you can draw more duct, from whatever direction that you want, however you want. And it always has, let me go back to that for a second, add another one. I'm going to add a really big one. So say 47 by, let me make it skinny. So like, see, I have this duct. Then I'm gonna put another duct in. Oh, actually, so I have that duct, and I'm gonna draw another duct. So this is sometimes things that you can do. You may have a certain area in your building that are a really wide but really skinny duct will work. But then you may get to a certain point where you need more of a fatter, taller duct. I mean, less width and higher. So maybe I can switch this, um, to 20 by 47. So I switched. I basically just did the opposite. So this was 47 by 20, and I did this one 20 by 47. Obviously this is not how ducts work. There's actual calculations in a table that can show you if you want to go to this duct, but you want more of a square duct. There's a table that shows the comparison between the two. But for this purpose, I'm just showing this because it's going to add the reducer in automatically. So it puts in the transition from the small duct to the large duct. And then you can always, you can move it, that way however you want. But it puts in the reducer automatically for you. Um, and it's there. And it also does the same thing for round ducts. So like say this was a square duct, but I wanted this to be round. I wanted to transition it to a round duct. It does the same thing. It makes the reducer there for you. And then again, I can change the size of the duct to be whatever I want, and it'll still, the transition and everything will adjust with it. So again, that's why it's good to bring in the project standards that I showed in tutorial, I believe it was G, for project standards, because those will make, it makes the piping work as I showed it, and it makes the duct work as well. So other things to just show quickly here, since I have it up. So what you can do for the ducts. So if you have a diffuser in, so say this is your diffuser, and it's saying it wants to come out as a 6 by 6 inch square duct for a supply. This is a supply diffuser, so you see how it has a supply duct symbol. So you click on that, it'll create a supply duct But obviously probably want something. Probably want a round one at the actual diffuser instead of a square. And then again, this is just like the plumbing where you can only go horizontal. You can't go vertical, but that's where you can just say, this diffuser is at 18 feet 2 inches above the first floor, but I want this duct to be at 20. Why is it coming from over there? That's weird. Try that again. And then round. And then, and if you see how this drop down menu is, this is populated by all the different ducts. So as you start to add ducts with different heights, this table gets populated. So you can always go back and click another one if you need to. Okay. So now you can see it puts, it puts that in for me automatically. And then I can, if I wanted to, I could. I was coming from here. So you can see, like, you see how I have this transition going on. You can put something like that in by. Easiest way to get that is, and sometimes you got to full rev it. So like if I take this out for a second, and then you can see here. Um, so sometimes to get a transition like that, and because you can't draw, you can draw down. So like if you do create, so let's see what size pipe duct that is. It's a 5-inch. So if I draw a duct and I say 5-inch round, and then I want to go down to 20 feet. So this duct right here is at 21 feet 4 and change above the first floor, but I want it to be 20 feet above. It'll bring it down, and then I can draw it like that. But obviously, I don't want this type. Let's see, because it wasn't a straight run. So what you gotta do is you gotta delete that stuff off that you don't want, and then you can draw this pipe over. And then before I connect them, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick the center of this and this, so that way it aligns them. It aligns them. I don't know where to put it. Start over. So I'm going to delete those. I'm going to delete that. I want to align. So I want to align this duct and this duct. So you want to make sure that you have that aligned so it matches up. And then I can bring this over. And then now if I go to this, if I grab this piece, the vertical piece, and just go up till I hit that, and this will highlight, it'll put in the transition, the proper transition that you want. Then if you're a little bit off, it'll put in like something like that, but you can just go back and fix that. Because now that you have the transition in, you can just click on this. You can redraw the duct if you need to, now that it's properly aligned. I think it's doing that because the height is not high enough for this turn. I think if I just grab this, and then once you put a duct in, you can always adjust its height as well. So I have that height in it, and I can put it a different height, and it'll change it for me. And redo it. But another thing that you can do is, let me see if it works. Curious to see if it does work. If I click this fit in, this duct, and hit routing solution, should give me a routing solution. And you can see sometimes it's not exactly what you want. But you see that there's 15 solutions, so you can go through and see. The best thing to do is kind of draw your duct, draw your stuff in, and then do a routing solution so it gives you one. And then you can look at your structure and see how the routing solution that they gave you works with your structure, and then you can adjust it manually from there. So you don't have to draw everything manually. You can do, a routing solution, and see what it gives you. Sometimes you can even do. This is being brave. But sometimes you can even just click the terminal, and then no, it's not going to let me do it that way. Sometimes you can do it. Sometimes you can't. If you have like multiple diffusers, you can actually, and I'll show this in the final video for this tutorial. But like if you have multiple diffusers, you can hit you can select them and hit generate layout, and it'll create them for all the bunch of different diffusers. But sometimes it revocates. I'm probably not even going to show that. You guys can play around with it, but Revit can get tricky with it, and it doesn't properly do it sometimes. So it's best to kind of just do it one by one. So you know it works, and it gets in. So let me go back for a second. And so now I can drag this down. What size? This is too big. Let me shrink this to a 5-inch duct. And actually, I want to put this at 19 feet. 19.2. And you can properly align this. So like if I click this point and then try to get to this, I can align that, fit in, with the duct, so it's there. But see, it dropped the thing. I mean, it's straight. Like you gotta play around with the system to get it to go. I mean, it's just a pain sometimes to actually do it and get it in there, because you can see how it's a little bit off. So you kind of want to match it up properly, to be straight on, obviously. Best thing is actually if I just do a vertical. Let me take this out for a second, and then do. So I'm just gonna do create similar. So height this is at 21.4. So this is where it's good, where you can click on a duct to see it's okay. So it's 21.4 and change. So now I can come here, hit draw duct, and then the height I select, I can select what it was, which I think it was this one. Just double check. 155. So draw duct, and it was 21 for 155. And this is just to get that vertical piece in. So now I can. So now with the vertical piece in, I can hit this, and then I can hit the center line of that, and it'll adjust it. Just want to make sure. One thing that you want to double check when you do that, you just want to make sure when I do this, just make sure that it doesn't move the whole thing. My video is about to end, so I'm going to continue right from here in the next part.